Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I am Lelu and today we will create some nice trail effects in Godot. It's commonly used in slashes, magic spells, drifting effects, projectiles and even more. Trails are important to create a sense of speed and motion, and also it's a good way to help the viewer to focus where the action is. Today I will show you an easy and automatic way to create trails in Godot. So let's get started. Creating 3D trails in Godot is not that easy. Lamentably, there is no responsive 3D trail system in Godot 4, or at least not yet. Even if the particle system has a trail functionality built in, these trails are not responsive to the movement, and this is a problem. But don't worry, I have found a really nice plugin. It's named GPUTrail, created by Celyk. It is free, and it seems to be a really nice and smooth plugin. It's very easy to install. You only need to click here and download zip. And now let's open our Godot project. Let's go to the asset library and click import. So here we can choose the GPUTrail plugin. Open it, install. Now we need to press OK and restart Godot. Okay, so I have restarted Godot. Now, as you can see, we have a new folder here, which is GPUTrail. But this is not the important part. The important part is now we can go ahead here and create a new GPUTrail 3D. And if we move this GPUTrail, you can see we have this crazy trail effect. So here in the right panel, we can edit all the properties of the trail. For example, we can edit the color, the shape, and we can even add a texture. For now, let's edit the shape. Let's go to curve, and instead of using this crazy shape, I will simply use a simple shape like this, for example. A line. So now it looks less wobbly, as you can see. And also maybe these trails are too big. So let's go down to transform and set a scale of 0.2. Also, we can change the length of the trail. Let's put a value, for example, of 30. So now it's short, it's small. We can change the colors here. Instead of having these crazy colors, let's put, for example, a color from yellow to blue. So now you can see we have this nice trail. And we can also add a texture here. Let's pick, for example, this texture. Oh, by the way, because this is a black and white texture, make sure to enable this option. Use red as alpha. So now we have this nice effect. Let's try with a different texture. This purling noise. Let's see what happened. Cool. Now we know how to install and configure this GPUTrail plugin. So let's go ahead and see how we can use this plugin to create some sword slashes. And also, let's see how to use it to create a magic spell effect. Okay, so I have this nice sword here, and it also has an animation, as you can see. Let's add the trail to this sword. Let me reset the position and move it a little bit up. Cool. And let's do some changes to the GPUTrail. First, I would like to change the texture. Instead of using this texture, I will use this one. Also, I want to change the colors. And I want to use really strong colors, so enable use HDRI. And for this sort, maybe we can pick a blue color, but a really strong blue. So let's go to raw, and maybe we can put a blue with a value of 0.1, 2.5, and 1. And for the end, I want to have a green color with a raw value of 0, 3, and 0.1. Cool. Let's see how it looks. Oh, nice. So, okay, let's play the animation and see what happened. Awesome. Maybe we don't want this trail to be always visible, to be always active, right? Only when the sort is doing the slashes. So let's go to the animator and let's go to the GPUTrail option in visibility and key the visibility option. I want the trails to be visible here, but not here. So over here, I want to disable the visibility for the trails. But then, when it does the second slash, I want it to be visible once again. So it's visible, not visible, and visible again over here. And then once again, I want it to be not visible over here at the end of the animation. Okay, let's see what happened. Let's play the animation. Oh, okay, we have a problem. Even if the particle is not visible, it is still moving. So let's go to the GPUTrail, and we have the length of 30. Maybe we can set the length to 0 every time it finishes the slash. So let me key this. I want the length to be 30 over here. But then I want the length to be 0 when it finishes the first slash. Then once again I want to make the length to be 30 for the second slash, and I want to keep it to be 30 until here. When the second slash finishes, I want the length to go back to 0. Okay, let's play the animation and see what happened. Awesome. Maybe we can make this look a little bit more interesting, right? In order to do that, I will go back to the sort and create a new particle system, maybe a CPU particle system. Assign a mesh for these particles. I will pick a quad mesh, and this is falling down because of the gravity. So let's go to gravity and set this gravity to 0. Also, I want to set the amount to 1. And maybe this particle is too big, so let me put a size of 0.2 and 1. So let's move it a little bit up. Oh, by the way, in the drawing option, enable local coordinates. So the particle will always stick to the sword, as you can see here. Cool. Let's create a new material for this particle. Let's go down to geometry, in material override, and create a new shader material. Create a new shader, visual shader. We can name it simple glow. Create. So now we can go here and open the simple glow. I want to do some changes here. For example, I want this to be unshaded and cool mode to be disabled. So now I can see it from the both sides. And this will be a very simple shader. All I need is a color. Right click and create a color fragment. And connect the color in the albedo and the alpha channel. And we also need a texture, so let's go to textures. Let's pick this one. I will leave the links in the description, by the way. And we can multiply this texture with the alpha of the color. And that's it. This is all we need for the shader. Let's go back to the particle system. We can edit some properties. For example, we can edit the color, and we can set a color. For example, let me pick green with a raw value of 0, 1.5, and 0.5. Also, let's go to color ramp and create a new gradient. And we can set this gradient to be transparent at the beginning and a little bit transparent at the end. Just a little bit. So we have this gradient and it goes from transparent to not transparent to transparent. So it looks like it's blinking, which is really cool. And yeah, that's it. Let's play the animation once again. Our sword/effect is completed. Now let's do the same, but this time we will use it to create a magic spell effect. Let's add a particle system to the hand of this wizard girl. I will use the exact same trails and particles I am using for the sword, so I can Ctrl+C copy this sword and paste it here. But of course we don't need the sword, so I will delete the sword only. And in order to attach these particles and trails to the hand, we need to go to the skeleton and create a new bone attachment 3D. And choose the bone you want to use. In this case, I want to use the right hand. So now we can pause the animation and move the particle system into the bone attachment. We also need to reset the position of the particles and the position of the trails. Let's go to the particles, to transform and reset the position. And maybe we can move this over here. These particles are too big and the trail as well. So let's go to the trail and in transform, let's set a scale of 0.05. Also, let's change the texture. Instead of using this texture, I will use this noise texture. Or maybe another texture. Let me try with this one. Okay, this is better. As for the big glow particle, I want to modify the length of this. So let's go to drawing, and in the mesh, let's put a size of 0.3 and 0.3. Cool. Maybe we can change the color of these trails and particles. Instead of using this green, maybe we can put a blue with a raw value of 0.5, 0.5, and maybe 4. Yeah. Same for the glow. Let's go to the CPU particle. Go to color. And let's put a blue with a raw value of 0.5, 0.5, and 4. Awesome. Maybe we need to do some changes here, because as you can see, the particles are intercepting with the hand. So let's do some changes to the shader. I will go to the simple glow shader, and first I want this particle to always look at the camera. So let's go to the vertex option and right click and create a new get billboard matrix. Enable this and connect to the matrix. As you can see now, the particles are always facing the camera, but we can see how it intersects with the hand and it looks awful. So in order to fix that, let's go back to the fragment section, and we can create a proximity fade node and multiply the proximity fade with our texture. So as you can see now, the glowing particle effect is no longer intercepting with the hand. Maybe we can also, for the trails, we can set the length to a higher value, for example 120. And finally, we can go ahead and create a new GPU particle system. And in order for this particle to work, we need to create a new particle process material and assign a mesh. In this case, I will use a new quad mesh. This is huge, so let's put a size of 0.02, 0.02, and 0.02. And it's falling down because of the gravity. So let's go to the particle process material in accelerations and set the gravity to 0. Or maybe I want the gravity to be positive. Maybe let's put a gravity of 0.5, so it goes up. Also, we can go to spawn, position, and set the position shape to be a sphere with a radius of 0.1. And this is cool. Maybe we can add more particles. Set the amount to 20 particles. And finally, for these particles, we need to add a material. So let's go down to geometry, create a new shader material, and here we can use our simple glow shader for these particles. Finally, we can go back to the particle system and set a color. Maybe we can pick a blue with a value of 0.5, 1, and 4. Also, we can modify the scale, so it has a random scale between 0.3 and 0.8 and a new curve. So it goes from big to small. Excellent. So that was it for this video. I hope in the future Godot includes a 3D trail system, the newest version of Godot, but for now I think this plugin does the work very well. Anyways, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you want to get all of these variations, I made them all available on my Patreon's page, links below, and by supporting me you keep the channel going and get access to many other assets. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.